Can I say something? Least glazed meat, as in most overhated, least overrated meat. Not necessarily underrated, but least overrated meat and most overhated, grilled chicken. Saw a tweet while I was peeing. The original tweet that got quote tweeted by a cyberbully was like, Oomph had never had homemade pasta before, so you know I had to make the fettuccine. Showed a pasta machine making fettuccine, served next to grilled chicken. The quote tweet, 70,000 likes. Making fresh pasta just to serve it with grilled chicken is insulting or something like that, or is crazy. Grilled chicken is great, man. If you brine it and it comes out juicy and then you cook it hot enough, grilled chicken's fantastic, man. I don't know why, like, listen, baked chicken is just cowering in the corner, thankful that grilled chicken is taking all the aggro. Because baked chicken, there's literally, like, when you put it in the oven, there's like a 30-second window where you can take it out where it doesn't taste like a shoe, okay? Grilled chicken is innocent. What about boiled? We don't mess with that. We cook the chicken in advance and then we tear it into the soup when the soup is just cooling. Let me see here. I'll take a curse to transform 2 cards any day of the week. 2 defends become boot sequence and scrape. I can live with that. Take me to the earliest shop I can afford, okay? How do you get good stock? What are you, like, looking for a horse stud or something? I don't understand what the question. Good stock? Good stock? I buy it from the grocery store. I got stuff to do, man. I'm not out here, like, roasting an entire chicken, taking the juices from the roasting pan, putting them off to the side, stripping the remaining meat off the carcass, throwing the bones into a stock pot, boiling it, coming back every 15 minutes to skim the fat off the top, clarifying it, then putting it in the freezer. Like, that's some Farmer's Almanac stuff, man. I'm buying Save on Foods Western Family reduced sodium chicken stock and then adding more sodium into it when I put it in the pot. That's what I'm doing. Just thinking. Can't really go wrong with a cold snap. I was thinking maybe upgraded recursion because then it can get targeted by scrape, but it's a little ambitious, and honestly, I'm not really fucking with recursion that much to begin with anyway. Last year, my mother-in-law made some chicken in the oven and asked if it was good. It tasted like a shoe. I said the sauce was nice. She asked if the meat was bad then. We all sat in silence. It takes a long time to learn this lesson. This is not, like, your fault. It's just something everybody's got to learn. Lying in situations like that is actually the right thing to do. Unfortunately. The irony of lying is that when society told you lying is never justified, they were lying, which is messed up, man. Come on. If your mother-in-law asks you if the food is good, and it doesn't matter whether the food is good or bad, you lie and say it's, well, I guess it's not a lie if it's the truth, but you say it's good. You don't even have to think about it. That's an automatic, like, pack one, pick one. In fact, you don't even say it's good, because if you say it's good, she's going to think it's shit. You say, it's amazing. What's your secret? And then she'll spin you some yarn about, like, it's coffee. I put a coffee bean in the chili. And then you go, whoa, I've never heard of that before, even though you've heard of it like 100 times, okay? And it didn't help. That's the secret. Sending this clip to your mother-in-law? Nice try. She doesn't really speak English. So I'm in the clear. I will say you could get yourself into trouble, though, because one of the first times I ate my mother-in-law's cooking, she made a Korean dish called japchae, which is perfectly fine. You know, it's like cellophane noodles and sauteed beef and, you know, julienne vegetables and stuff like that. It's good, but I can honestly, like, take it or leave it. And then she asked me like how it was, and I was like, oh, when I lived in japchae, it was like one of my favorite Korean foods. Next 5 or 6 years, every time I went to her house, she made japchae. And I had to eat it and be like, yeah, so good. Then I had to tell my wife one time. She was like, oh, she's going to make the japchae you like so much. And I was like, I can tell you, but just so you know, I don't really fuck with japchae that much. You know what? Give me recycle. Did I really not remove the curse from my deck at the shop? I'm playing on autopilot, man. Defrag. Scrape me. Like, I'm scraping, but I have no zero cost stuff to draw. Just found out you use eggs and breadcrumbs when you make burgers. Very disappointed in you. No, I fucking don't. Circa 2024. Just kill me. Let's start another one. Kill me. I fucking go to the store and I buy a box of 8 frozen hamburger patties and then I just throw them on the grill, man. Because, like, I got stuff to do. I don't know. I mean, much like the japchae, I don't fuck with the hamburgers all that often, to be honest with you. I'm very, I wouldn't say not hamburger pilled. Like, they taste good, but like it's not a staple meal in the rotation for a guy like me. And it has nothing to do with the macros. It's just not my favorite way to consume bread or beef, to be honest. Takes 10 seconds to turn ground beef into ground beef patties. Oh, you're using ground beef though? You're not grinding your own beef? Yeah, because I find that I go to the butcher and I get like some sirloin tip, like something that's not super expensive. And I'm like make a blend that's like 80% sirloin tip, and then I'll throw a little like tallow in there because you definitely want that like richness. And then I'll throw like maybe something like a New York strip in there at 10%, and then you really want the umami of like a ribeye, and then you put that in there, and you're gonna grind your own cumin seeds. You're gonna grind your own because you don't want to buy that store-bought stuff. You know they burn the seeds when they roast them. They burn the seeds when they roast them. Fuck you, dude. You should be on the same side as me. Convenience maxing. You turning ground beef into ground beef patties is one step away from literally just buying the frozen patties from the grocery store. You're my ally, and you're out here thinking you're J. Kenji Lopez alt because you unwrap the beef and then make it into a fucking ball and then smash it down? Come on. Look at how easily they divided us. I would happily lose recursion. I'm gonna need some attacks at some point then. You should just buy the frozen burgers then? I don't eat the burgers, man. I don't know what the... You know how many times I've defended Americans broadly? That Europeans always say, like, American cuisine is just hamburgers. And I go, no, man, no! You're forgetting about the amazing food you can get in New York. You're forgetting about the amazing Creole food you can get in Louisiana, the Tex-Mex stuff, the 12 different kinds of barbecue, the beautiful seafood in the Pacific Northwest, all of the bounty of cuisine that California's provided to the world. Then meanwhile, I'm like, I don't fuck with hamburgers that much. And you're all like, well, it's because I take personal offense to that. I was on your side, man. I defended you. And this is how you repay me? Ridiculous. You know what? I'm entering the war on America on the side of Europe. But I will say Europe, a couple of things. Diet Coke should be more readily available. I've been to Sweden, I've been to Iceland. So I don't know if the rest of Europe, like maybe they got it all figured out. This is a disastrous turn for a guy like me. The Diet Coke should be more readily available. And if you go to your friend's house for dinner, you should expect that the friend's mom or dad will feed you. Sorry, the sexism escaped. Honestly, I'm just not fucking with this one. Why don't you kill me? We're gonna get a good start. That's a Northern European thing. Don't do this again. Apparently, I've never been on live television before, okay? This is the way. This is the way we want to go. Requesting a milkshake when your friend's mom asks what you want to drink. Now we're talking. When your friend's mom asks what you want for dinner, telling her, maybe like something in the vein of Panda Express, but like double egg roll, double fried rice. It's the worst possible concentration game I've ever seen in Slay the Spire. Yes, now we're talking. Now we are talking. We could really use some upgrades. Upgraded streamline goes nice. And now, I mean, we're cooking, man. Now we're cooking. The burger and the milkshake. I'm trying to think. I've never had like a weird experience at my friend's house for dinner, but I will say I went to my friend's house for I ate dinner at his house many times. But my parents, okay, I mean, like, it's kind of judgmental, okay? My parents cooked like what I would describe as more like grown-up food for dinner most of the time. Like, they would get, like whole meals, you know? You get, like, a chicken breast and, like, some rice and some veggies on the side, right? Or, like, you get some roast beef and some potatoes and some veggies on the side or something like that. I remember I went to my friend's house for dinner once, and I was, like, nervous. I was like, I wonder what dinner's gonna be. Lady busted out a box of, like, frozen chicken tenders from the freezer and put them in the toaster oven, and we all had chicken tenders dipped in ketchup with like McCain frozen French fries. It was like the exact opposite of how you'd expect the dynamic to go. Like the kid was like, I only eat tendies and they've got roast beef. I was like, my ass is only eating like yellow chicken curry and we got chicken tenders. It was kind of sick though. She didn't even cut the fries? No, motherfucker, she was busy. They lived on a farm, man. This wasn't the 18th century. This shit was like 2001. Give me capacitor. I've been having good luck with capacitor lately. I'll play those. Is that the farm kid you were beating on and his mom had to tell you to chill? I think that's a few different stories wrapped up. So like, it is the same kid, but I was not beating his ass. We did get into a fight once at his house. And his mom, I don't even remember what we were fighting over because we were just like 12, right? But his mom had to come in and be like, why are you fighting? And we were kind of like, I don't know. And then she was like, well, knock it off. And then we did. But one time I used to play him in Crazy Bones. And I would beat his ass in Crazy Bones. And then his mom had to be like, stop playing my son in Crazy Bones. Like, he keeps getting upset after you leave. So you keep taking his best Crazy Bones. Yeah, that's true. Lore expands. I think I've told that one before. That I don't think that's a new one. Sorry for the opportunity cost on the potion. I still remember. I'm not going to say the kid's name. I'm going in on this, man. I don't care. I rarely get this opportunity. Crazy Bones were popping off when I was in like the 6th grade, right? Get his ass. We used to play at a recess time, and we played for keeps, okay? This was like... It was a... Oh, it does 0! Of course! It's a different time. It was a different era. This is gonna sting, brother. You could double up on Glacier, but at some point you gotta do some motherfucking damage. Hang on, hang on. Who's the boss? Ice him. Not that bad. Anyway, what is Crazy Bones? They're little plastic hunks of crap, and you set them up You sit 10 feet away from each other. I actually don't know how far it was because, like, you know, I was a kid at the time, so it felt like it was like a football field away. But you sit, you know, like maybe 6 feet away, something like that. You stand up your crazy bone, throw crazy bones at their crazy bone, try to knock it over. If you knock it over, you win it. So I was playing a kid in Crazy Bones, and it was right at the end of recess. He said, "You want to play?" I said, "Sure, let's play some Crazy Bones." I knocked over his crazy bone, and it all happened really quick, okay? I knocked over his crazy bone. As I knocked it over, the bell rang to indicate that recess is over. I shit you not, this kid picked up his crazy bone that I had rightfully just won, and picked up the crazy bone that I threw at his crazy bone. So I went from +1 crazy bone to -1, a magnitude of 2, even though I didn't do anything wrong. And then he like sprinted away. And he was in a different class than me, so we're like lining up on different parts of the playground to go inside and stuff like that. He did, listen, I'm wishing him the best. He did go to prison for a while, not for the crazy bone stuff, just, it was kind of like not that uncommon in the area that I grew up in. Not to say I grew up rough, but there was a very cosmopolitan mix of individuals at my school. It is indefensible. That's a detestable action, man. It's a detestable impulse for sure. You know what? This is kind of a crazy opportunity for a barrage. You don't see that too often. So you said you wish him the best in hell? Well, that's not what I said. Did you ever get it back? No, man. No, I didn't ever get it back. And it pains me to this day. I don't remember if it was like a nice one or something like that, but still. Oh, finally, Streamline, you're too good to me? I'm not really, well, let me think of, this is our drop. It's not going to come back around for 10 years, man. Yeah, double up on it. What warrants a nice crazy bone if it's all crap? Well, you know, it's kind of like NFTs, I guess. It's like it's all crap, but some of them are like, you know, prized more than others for reasons unbeknownst to the average person. Myself included. Yeah, 13. Let's get a cool headed out there. I was hoping for something a little better, but I had some choice crazy bones, man. I don't want to flex on anybody, but yeah, I had some baller crazy bones. I mean, I had a Smiley. I had a Jaws. I never got Music. Music was number 1, Series 1, Unit 1. Get torched. Are they in a box somewhere? No, because like I think I've realized something about collectibles. Sports cards have like a different kind of sauce to them. They seem to like hold their value. But like buying any kind of piece of garbage and then expecting like you're going to sell it later, like I think it only works in the stock market. Because I was thinking about it, like, so I bought a lot of hockey cards. That's the play. I bought a lot of hockey cards as a kid, and I always expected they'd be like worth a lot of money. But like, you know who ends up being nostalgic for hockey cards is the people who grew up collecting hockey cards. So it's like there's no market. It's Ouroboros. It's like the snake is eating its own tail. You're trying to sell your cards to people that already have cards, or who are trying to offload their own cards to other people who already have cards, or are trying to offload their cards to other people who are trying, etc., etc. Okay, hang on. This is the one thing you got to think about here, okay? Runic Pyramid is good. And it would be nice to be able to hold our glaciers when we don't need to play them. We do have an energy deficit right now. And actually, you know what? I think we could... Cursed Key, we can work with. We got 429 gold. As long as we plan for our shops. And then... I mean, I think we can't go wrong with any of them, because I think Philosopher's Stone, like, we have enough block right now to not really suffer consequences from this, but I think this is a cursed key for me. That's just my 2 cents. Magic the Gathering in my country is literally the same 500 people buying and selling to each other over and over. Yeah, but you know what's great is that fucking, you sell me a Black Lotus, I sell the Black Lotus back to you, you sell it back to me, I sell it back to you. Fucking $100,000 generated for the GDP. It's good for the nation, man. I don't think it works that way. I mean, that's how the GDP works. It doesn't mean you get infinite money. I'm just saying, like, now the, you know, Malaysian government can be like, holy shit. Magic the Gathering generated like $350,000 in economic activity in this one little city. If I have played at attack, that makes sense. I tend to like doing that. I get like a self-repair or something. I don't think that's right. Well, the streamer thinks it's right, so it's really your word against mine. And I got the video camera next to my icon, I think, when I chat. Is that true? Let me see. Yeah, that's a video. A lot of you kids might not know what that is. That's a video camera. Why doesn't it look like an iPhone? Come here, you piece of shit. Back in my day, they didn't have strawberry banana milk, okay? They had chocolate milk, and we accepted that, and then they had regular milk. And then sometimes a kid would come to school and have milk that was like flavored like a candy bar, and we were like, what is it? And he's like, it's milk. And we were like, is it though, or is it like a dessert? And it was, we had a lot of arguments about that back in the day. A lot of arguments. And it was better then. That's how we liked it. I'm gonna die. I need a self-repair. I need a max win. Hit me with one of these. You should enable casino for Slay the Spire. You should know your limit and stay within it, you piece. We got enough block. I'm not sweating that. Give me a Flasho Steel. Save enough money to remove a curse later, but then cut like some detritus from our deck. No, I'm not about this lifestyle. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I didn't even do the math. That could have easily just killed me. But nah, we're chilling. And this guy's, he's gonna heal me to full anyway. He's not gonna give me a curse. He's gonna give me 150 gold. 200 gold. Look at that. I'm skipping the elite, so I'm going full coward mode right here. Yeah, whatever. Get it out there. 6 energy. Holy. Skibbity elites. Gremlin Knob is using Book of Pains moveset. I'm Skibbity elite. I'm Skibbity elite. I had to think of some enemies in this fucking game that I actually know the name of, and it took me a really long time. Gremlin Knob is an elite, right? There's others. Lagavulin? I know all about the Lagavulin, man. You don't even have to ask about that one. Timekeeper? I thought Timekeeper was the big bad. They hit me with the Our Lady Peace, bro. I gotta go this way, too, because I gotta hit that shop to remove clumsiness. Which I've heard is next to godliness, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one. 'Cause I don't know. I'm gonna take 0. That's what I like to see. Tori is so good, man. Me talking to my friends about the new episode of fucking 90210. Me saying fucking to give me an extra second when I can't remember the name of the show. You know who Tori Spelling is? She was in Scary Movie 2. That might be her most famous work. You don't know Tori Spelling? You should check her. You should get to know her, man. She had some reasonably solid works. This is what it's like to be 35. Jay, I was talking earlier. I don't know if you were here. I was positing that 35 is actually a weird age. Because you're like... I mean, you can really apply this to every age, which chat roasted me for. But 25-year-olds are like, you're old. And then 45-year-olds are like, you're young. It's very lonely here at 35. Like, I think as you get older, it's very easy to make friends when you're 5. Because you literally are going to a school with like 20 to 100 people that are your age. So you get in this mindset where you're like, oh, I'm 5. I would never be friends with a 4-year-old. They're so immature. I would never be friends with a 6-year-old. They get into some crazy stuff I'm not ready for yet. 5 is like the right age for me. And then I think when you're like old, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're like, I'm 80. What am I going to do? Be like, I'm not hanging out with her. She's 72. Like, you're all fucking old. You've been there, done that, right? Oh, he's 90. You're 80. Like, it's the same age. But like at 35, it's kind of, it's way more situation dependent. Like, I think it's hard for me to be friends with a 25-year-old because they're always talking about shit that like I solved, you know? They're always like, oh, I'm hungry. Then you're like, go get some food, and they're like, ah, oh, so expensive. And you're like, well, what about some stuff you got in your house? And they're like, I don't really feel like eating that. And I'm like, well, what? Maybe you should sort this shit out on your own then, because clearly you don't. This shit is fucking ridiculous, okay? No disrespect. The people in the 45-year-old demographic are like, oh, like I've got a pinched nerve in my hip. I can't walk right. And I'm like, well, I'm not fucking there yet. Soon, sure. But like, for right now, I'm chilling. So I don't know, man. It's weird to be 35. But you do have kind of friends by default if you, like, I don't know, have a social life, enjoying clubs or something. Well, I don't, so I just had a kid instead. Anyway. 2 curses. 4 nons, Jeremy? I mean, that's a little much for a guy like me, but I would happily remove shame. And I would love to draw 2 extra cards. I actually have a pinched nerve in my hip right now. Shit sucks. Yeah, my dad used to... I don't know how he fixed it. He had a pinched nerve for like 10 years. I don't want to give you unnecessary hope, but I think literally the shit just went away. But there was like 6 or 7 years where a few times a day he would like almost fall down and then barely be able to walk. And he was in like consultation to get surgery or something. And then like one day it just like stopped bothering him. He's still alive. It's not, there's no like, you know, I'm not distracting you and then I'm going to hit you with like a knockout punch. Like he just, I don't know, he just tanked it. What about the tennis club? Don't get me started, man. They're all full. Don't even bother joining the wait list. I found one that isn't full. Emailed to inquire about membership. Bro said, yeah, it's no problem. You just need a reference from 3 current members. How am I supposed to get that if I'm not allowed to go to the club to meet the people to begin with, to wine and dine and schmooze them and make myself appear affable to them? How am I gotta fucking stock the cars when they come out of the club and then like do like an accidental psychotic like bump into them at the grocery store? It's crazy, man. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I don't know how you get in, man. I don't know how you get in. Okay, I want to play this. I want to play this. I want to use Gambler's Brew so we heal. We're not going to play it. Get rid of it. I wish to not take damage. I have to jump that crevice. 14, this will be 10, this takes us to 12, takes us to 14. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm not familiar with like tennis and golf club like etiquette and stuff like that. So I didn't realize that it's not enough to just be like, hey, I want to pay you like way too much money to play tennis. Like apparently you have to pass like a fucking riddle or something too. Like I didn't realize all the rigmarole that's involved. I thought you could just be like, I like tennis. Can I join the tennis club? The shit that pisses me off too is they all advertise like, we've got lessons for all skill levels. And I'm like, okay, well, like I'm a beginner. I'd love to learn tennis. And they're like, well, yeah, but you got to have like 3 tennis pros vouch for you. Okay. What am I supposed to do about that, man? I don't know. I don't know what can be done. There's a life hack. Get a coach. Dude, so like I'm being real with you. I swear it to you. I'm not saying like I've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. I tried to get a private golf or a tennis coach. So I emailed this tennis coaching service in Vancouver because on the website it says, hey, if you want to get private lessons, just email us. So I emailed them and gave like my my situation, and the situation is basically like, hey, I can't really find the time to fit in your group classes because they're inconvenient for me, but I would love to get like, you know, a lesson a week so I can just keep in the habit of it. And they never got back to me, man. It's like, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, like that's ridiculous, but I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to get tennis lessons. Like I'm putting myself out there. They're hunting for whales. Hang on. Give me this. No, maybe that's my fault. I forgot to include my references when I submitted the email. Yeah, I gotta send them a bump. But that's like, it's not a bump like that, you weirdos. It's like, it's kind of a shot across the bow. Like that's like, you're kind of going double or nothing. If you send them a bump that's like just making sure you got this, that's basically me saying like, hey, come on, motherfuckers, like, the time is now. Like, how long does it take to reply to it? I'm literally like sending you an email that's like, I'd love to give you business. Yeah, we're not doing a lot of damage to him right now. We're going to need to find a way to punch through here. To punch the keys, for God's sake. On the bright side, like, he's not doing a lot to me. Yet. You know what we need to do? Unfortunately, we need to get this streamline working. Double messaging is embarrassing. I had to explain that, you know, I'm not like the lord of modern social norms. I had to explain that to Kate, though. Kate messaged a text message a friend of ours on the weekend to see if they wanted to meet up and do something. And she got a read receipt. Like I don't know how the iPhone works, but it's like the double check mark is like they read it. But then they didn't respond. And then Kate was like, what do I do? Do I text back and say like, oh, like, so what do you think? And I was like, no, you can't double text. Because the double text is like, it's an act of aggression. But unfortunately, you kind of gotta just wait until they reply. And eventually they did, which is fine. But that's when you use question mark react. I didn't even think about that, man. You should stop thinking about this when you're 15? No, bro, it's social norms, man. If I text someone a question and I get a read receipt but no response, I'm not sending them another text that's like, so what do you think about this? That's like momcore. It changes the tone of the interaction. Call them? Nah, man, I'm deleting the number. They were fine, actually, but... Read receipts should not be on. That's I agree with that 100%. But the question mark react, I appreciate you letting me know about that technology, because I didn't know about that's a genius way to deal with that. A question mark react. How droll, Niles. I'd never thought about it prior. It isn't that serious though. But I agree that it's not that serious. But that's why sending the double text is something that I wouldn't do, because the double text makes it like look substantially more serious. Like if you end up sending a text that's like, well, what do you think? They're gonna get that text and be like, oh, I didn't reply for like 3 hours and all of a sudden now like I'm the dickhead. Like that's it's an escalation of the interaction. Yeah, I'm gonna die. We can't beat this guy. I've not built my run in an appropriate fashion. I'm ashamed of my words and my deeds. Believe? I think if we get like... If we start drawing streamline on every single turn, we might have a chance. That's helpful. I do appreciate it. Okay, now here's where things are going to get a little tricky. Yes. I guess I don't know why I'm even playing it now that I think about it, but how about a streamline? How about a streamline? Oh, you shouldn't have. I thought the old lady threw that shit in the motherfucking ocean at the end. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Just hold on a second, okay? You evoke for 1 block. That's not great. But that's 1 block for 0, so there's something. How about a rebound, charge, battery, defend? I lived, bitch. All right, now we got problems. Defend, charge, battery. How much are you in? 28? What a coincidence. That's exactly how much HP I have. Okay. Well, we had a fun conversation on this run in spite of